I thought that was done before the ice cube trays got pulled out. What is everyone's obsession with edible glitter? Hello there and welcome back to another video. My name is Lainey Jean if you're new here, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. Today we're going to be doing another sit down looking at restock videos specifically for Christmas or like the holiday season. And I kind of want to make it a little bit of a game, so I'm going to be keeping track of things we see repeated over and over again, like common themes in these videos. And at the end, I'm going to take inspiration from the Dance Moms pyramid that Abby Lee always did. I'm going to rank them from the top of the pyramid to the bottom of the pyramid based on how many times we see them in these videos. I have not fully watched any of these videos going through, but I'm assuming we're going to see some things like unnecessary ice cube trays, water bottle Stanley Cup restocks, fridge restocks, candy restocks with unnecessary like dividers and scoopers and stuff like that, cookie jars, coffee containers being poured into a bigger jar to put in your fridge, crazy things like that. So we're going to be talking about restock videos or restock hauls, etc. for Christmas time, the holidays, just kind of some like the issues I have with it, or like why seeing these constantly can affect us as consumers, and like how much overconsumption these kind of videos can push on us as viewers. So with that being said, I need to grab my notebook and then we'll get right into it. I'm going to be keeping tabs after we watch every video as we talk about them, what we're seeing. So let's just get into the first video. Mind you, I've not watched any of these, so hopefully they're not too repetitive, but we'll see. I saved 13 videos, I believe. I don't think we'll get through all of them, but I'm going to kind of click on them at random and we'll see what happens. So, I didn't realize this video was going to be all ice. Oh, there goes my pen. I counted 6 different types of ice cubes in this video alone. We had the gingerbread men, we had trees, we had snowflakes, we had ornaments, we had candy canes, and we had cranberries. And I want to mention that most of these had glitter in them, edible glitter, which is always a weird thing to me because personally, I would not want to just have edible glitter in my water or whatever it is I'm drinking. I get wanting to have edible glitter on like a cake or some sort of festive dish for the holidays, like a dessert that you're going to be eating. Sure, fine. And if you want it in your water, go ahead. But for me personally, I don't want the taste of glitter or just like the texture of glitter in my water just for the sake of it to look pretty or aesthetic. And I'm sure that they're probably doing it more in the sense to, for this video, either sell you the edible glitter through an Amazon storefront link or make the ice cubes look more interesting or stand out from the mold so you can actually see like the outline of everything that's happening, which is kind of the main point I want to make with a lot of these restock videos. It's a very easy way for people to sell you on different products, whether that be Amazon storefront links, sponsorships. They're using a bunch of these plastic trays to separate their ice cubes when a lot of them probably could have fit in like 2 or 3 if you just put them all together. But for the aesthetic of this video, they keep them separate, along with the tongs, which I mean, a lot of people use tongs in their kitchens, but these are like a bright red pair, which would make you think of Christmas. Having 6+ Christmas themed molds just for your ice cubes is also a little bit overboard to me. If you want to have a seasonal ice cube tray, personally, I think in general it's a little bit overboard. Just get 1 ice cube tray, use it all year round, but I'm not going to kill your fun. I don't think you need to have 6 of them. Moving on to the next video. Okay, so I'm making unnecessary organizers its own category for this because I do believe that those plastic trays in the first video and this tray here are technically unnecessary in the sense that you could have kept all of these packaged in the box that they were in originally and just use them. And I get for aesthetic purposes, everyone's going to have a different preference. So if you have one of these, sure, use it, continue to use it year after year. But again, this is something to be sold to people. Also, the extreme amount of marshmallows, like types of marshmallows, I feel like if it's for your family, you know what people in your family are going to want and you can agree upon like 1 or 2 different types of marshmallows, and it's not necessary to purchase all of these different kinds. The Christmas tongs, again, I need to write down Christmas themed tongs. Those are not necessary. You can use regular tongs. You don't even need to use tongs to put them in the container. Again, this is giving you an unnecessary step. You can just simply dump them into the container with your hands or just like straight out of the container. And I know a lot of people on short form content that I post and on long form, like here on YouTube, people will comment that, well, these things bring me joy. You know, overconsumption or consumption is the only way that I like find joy, or like don't take the fun out of everything. And I'm not trying to take the fun out of everything. There is certainly a time and place to get things that maybe aren't necessary but bring you joy. But do I think a plastic divider for your hot chocolate bar and some Christmas tree tongs are that thing? No. To each their own, but I don't think this is a necessity or like something that would personally make me any happier other than like the act of purchasing the thing. That feels good to buy things, like the dopamine you get from purchasing these things, which is why these videos do so well, because it makes you enjoy the aesthetic of what you're seeing and you think, oh, that will make my home feel so much more aesthetic. So you go to those links that they have and you purchase all these different things, which is the goal of these videos, and you get that dopamine. But then once you get it, it's like it kind of just sits there. I thought that was done before the ice cube trays got pulled out. Okay. We have a lot to go over. First of all, coming in strong with the giant glass pot bowl, whatever, that looks like a giant ornament to pour all of your iced coffee in. I talked about this in my Halloween video. How fast are you drinking that? And people were like, oh, maybe they're using it for a party. They are not using that for a party. They're using it to show off this bowl that they want you to buy, thinking that you need it for your everyday life. You're putting iced coffee in that quantity with the milk in it. That is not going to keep very long. And it's not going to taste good past like the second or third day. I promise you, even that is pushing it. You are better off to keep it in the original container and just make the drink as you use it. I promise you it's going to last longer. It's going to taste better for longer. You don't need this giant glass ornament to take up half of your fridge just to put coffee in it for it to be aesthetic. Okay, moving on from that. The plastic organizer. You do not need to put your sprinkles in a plastic organizer. I don't care what it's for. Leave it in the container it came in. Come at me in the comments if you disagree, but I don't think that's normal. Again, multiple marshmallows of like, I get it. They're fun, they're festive, but just buy one type of marshmallow. They all taste the same. And if you want to try a fun flavor, get the pack of fun flavors, use all of those, and then go get a different pack of marshmallows. Like, how many marshmallows are you actually using? I don't really drink hot cocoa in the winter except for like when I go to the winter markets, but like I'm not using marshmallows on a regular basis. A new category to add: single packaged things. I know those little candy canes come in single packs. It might just literally be chocolate on a stick, but I think they're chocolate covered pretzels. You can make those at home so easily and you don't have to get them single wrapped. If you're supporting a small business with them, like you go to market, you find them, sure, but I don't know why we have such a mass amount of them. I don't know anything about this person's, like how many people they have in their home, whatever, but this seems more like a tactic to get you to buy these off of Amazon. Like, I feel like these are something you would buy from Amazon or like Walmart or Target or something. Same with the amount of hot chocolate they have. Just pick one flavor that you know everyone's gonna like, or like two. You don't, I mean, they're cute. They have hedgehogs on them. It's not necessary though. Then we get to the ice tray, which was honestly a complete shock. Edible glitter again. What is everyone's obsession with edible glitter? Let me know in the comments. Is this something that people offline on their day-to-day are actually caring about putting in their water? Because I don't think it is. I think this is literally just something that people on social media are trying to sell you to buy, to put in your water to make it aesthetic. I will not be caught dead putting glitter in my water personally, even if it's edible. They put freaking gummy dots in an ice cube. What are you doing with that? I'm sorry. You want to eat frozen dots, which first of all are already hard to chew in the first place. Like, those things are impossible to like actually not get stuck in your teeth. And then you're freezing them, making them hard, and then putting them in your water, which what is that doing for your water? I get like the fruit and the herbs. That's fine. I grew up with a lot of friends that did that. They enjoyed putting pomegranate seeds or strawberry and lemon in their water, makes it flavored. Totally get that. The blueberries, I don't really think blueberries would give off much flavor, but if that brings you joy, sure, add some fruit to your water. But the candy in the ice cube, just for it to melt in the drink, feels odd to me. I don't see the use for it other than one, rage bait, which it got me, and two, just the aesthetic of it, which I don't think any actual person in their day-to-day life is doing that. All right, let's move on to the next video. Starting off strong with another Christmas coffee holder. All right, going strong. We have the coffee holder, the glass coffee holder again, as we saw right in the beginning. Holiday scented products, specifically thinking they showed here detergent along with bath products like lotions or soaps or deodorants are very, very common in these videos over the holidays, which if you're out of any of those products and you want to get a holiday scented one, fine, pick up one. But a lot of these videos are not showing one, as you saw here. They got 4 or 5 containers of this holiday scented product, which you will, if you look back at other seasons, they're doing the same thing for every season. And I don't think it's realistic for them to go through that product in like 2 to 3 months, unless you're using an absurd amount of this product just for the sake of videos or to like say you get through it. I don't think people are actually getting through this amount of product that fast. So it gives this kind of unrealistic expectation to like keep up with these trends of these scents. That probably could last you like, honestly, that could probably last me an entire year if I had 4 of those. Just saying. And then the infamous Christmas cookie jar. This is a very common theme in a lot of these as well. Unnecessary to put, I think they're single packaged cookies into a cookie jar. Yeah, they're the Little Debbies. They're not cookies, but cookies, Little Debbies, whatever. They're very common thing to put in these jars. Could have just left them in the box in your pantry. I get it. It's fun, but it's not necessary. It's just not necessary. Same with the container for the peppermints. You could have also, if you wanted to have one of those jars, you could have put the peppermints and the Little Debbie's in the same container. But I know they're trying to sell you on multiple products here. Also important to mention, it's not like you're fitting that entire box of those peppermints into the container. So then you have to find an extra place to store whatever you don't fit in that little bowl. For some people, it may not be a problem. For me, I have very limited kitchen space. So I would either want to be able to get the whole box completely into that container or just leave it in the box and put it in my cupboard. And then of course we have another unnecessary container for the popcorn. If this was a container that was used in previous years for popcorn, like say people get popcorn tins a lot around the holidays and they're reusing it, that's awesome. I'll be generous and say that that's a possibility, but I highly doubt that that's the case. They probably bought this container brand new just to buy popcorn and refill this container when the bag that the popcorn came in works just fine. Next video. Okay, if I was keeping track of every single unnecessary container in this video alone, the amount of jars and packaging put in this. First of all, we have the eggnog or milk or whatever that is in the first thing, which is kind of the equivalent of pouring your coffee into a separate container just for it to look aesthetic. On top of that, we have all the chocolates going into different containers, multiple types of hot chocolate, like the hot chocolate bombs and the hot chocolate spoons, different types of marshmallows, all the candy being put into that candy divider. I just keep my candy in the bag it comes in, and when I want it, I just pour it into a bowl. If I want multiple types of candy, I'll mix it together, whatever. The more important thing I want to point out here is the unnecessary use of, again, those Christmas tongs. And not just the Christmas tongs, she also showed off this golden scoop she used to put certain things in the containers, which is not necessary. Again, just pour the candy in the container. If you're going to use a container, just pour it in there. She used her hands to rip the marshmallows apart and then proceeded to take the tongs to put them in the container. This is all for aesthetics. I promise you, this is all just for aesthetic purposes. It is not necessary. You do not need these things, and you are not less than if you just dump your candy in a bowl to go and eat it. You don't have to make your candy look aesthetic to eat it. This is the first one we've seen of this so far, which I'm honestly surprised about. The butter. First of all, the butter being put into a mold to be shaped. But second of all, people have this weird fascination with these like butter jars around Christmas specifically, from what I've noticed. I don't know what's up with that. Personally, my butter's in the fridge all the time, and it's kind of a pain in the butt because then it's never thawed when I need it to be, but that's my own personal problem. And do I plan on fixing it anytime soon? No. I didn't know they made holiday colored toilet paper now too. I knew the paper towel thing was coming eventually with the spray. They always have to do a spray, which is just unnecessary to me. You can't even fill up that whole entire container with all of the product from the previous bottle that you're decanting it into, but that's besides the point. Of course, we have more unnecessary organizers for the Ziploc bags. Personally, I think it's fine to just leave your Ziploc bags in the box they come in. The coffee decanted into another container when it would have been just fine keeping it in the container it came in. There is very clearly a formula here. It's quick paced. A lot of the same actions and how they fill up containers. They spray the paper towel spray thing. Multiple things being decanted into new containers. The music, the keeping the ASMR sounds in the video while they're doing it, showing the opening of the packaging, tapping on things. I think it's important for people like me to make videos on this to remind you as a consumer and as a viewer that this can just be purely entertainment. But at the same time, it is allowing this kind of stuff to be normalized on people's feed and just in the world of social media overall. No disrespect to these creators. I am more so commenting on the overall aestheticization of overconsumption and the way that these videos are pushed and this specific formula that they're following, holding this idea of it as a whole accountable versus just one specific creator. I think why these videos work so well too is because a lot more recently I've heard a lot of people saying that the holidays don't feel like the holidays anymore, and a really easy way for people to sell that feeling to you is through buying things that may feel nostalgic or aesthetic, Christmas themed, holiday themed, in hopes to like make you feel like it'll bring that energy into your life. What we're looking for is more of that feeling of connection. A lot of us are grown up and maybe not with our family for as long around the holidays, or maybe you're like me where I've moved 1,000 miles away from home and I don't get to necessarily like romanticize the whole experience of being with my family and being a little kid like I did, 10 years ago. Not even 10 years ago, 5 years ago. So I think what a lot of us are searching for is just that feeling of wonder and being a little kid, but we're adults now. And so we're trying to kind of fill that void through purchasing things that look sparkly and magical and exciting, when in reality that's not necessarily going to fix this problem of Christmas or the holidays not feeling like the holidays anymore. A little bit of a side tangent, but it's been something I've been thinking about a lot recently because it's been coming up in conversation in a lot of like content I watch from other creators. This creator at least put the marshmallows in the container with her fingers after pulling the marshmallows apart. But still, she did use both the scoop and the tongs in this video. Just want to make that clear. Again, unboxing all this candy into an unnecessary organizer. If you are a person that holds a lot of parties throughout the holidays, maybe buying one organizer like this could be good to use throughout the holiday season, but I also think it would be smarter to just get one that is just your general dividers so it can be used for any season and you don't have to have it be themed for the holidays. I guess that just depends on personal preference, but if we're trying to look at it from a more sustainable or mindful consumption aspect, just buying one that works all year round could be more beneficial. The tongs and the scoops in one video just really, it just gets me every time. I really don't have much more to add to that. We're kind of flying through these videos. I think we'll do one more and then we'll wrap up the video. I don't even know what's in those gingerbread men. What is that? Okay, so we have some sort of liquid, I would assume a beverage of some sort, in those gingerbread men that she first puts in the fridge. And then on top of that, 3 mini Stanleys on the side of the fridge. For one person, they need 3 Stanleys and 3 gingerbread men beverage containers. That is just clearly overconsumption and trying to sell you on buying multiples of something. Moving on, lots of holiday themed things here, such as the cutout thing for the peanut butter sandwiches, kind of resembling a Smucker's, but in the shape of a gingerbread man as snowman. The edible food pens, which personally I don't find necessary just to put on food. This is definitely for content perspective of making it look cute for the video. Same with all of the different gadgets being used, the strawberry cutter and the little container that she washes to put them in, and the divider for all the like fruit and pretzels and meat sticks. This also came up in a Halloween video that I did, where someone was restocking their daughter's mini fridge. Your kid does not need a whole fridge in their room. This is all obviously personal opinion. So let me know if you disagree with this in the comments. That's totally fine. Are you restocking this like every week for them? Can they not walk into the kitchen and get a snack from your regular sized fridge? Is this something that you actually do outside of content, or did you start doing this solely for the purpose of content? I don't understand why we're doing this and why we're making it normal. There's so much single package things here. We have like the pirate's booty. We have the snacks that don't even need to go into the fridge. Some of them do, like those perfect bars. Those need to go in the fridge because they're like straight up peanut butter. And if they don't go in there, they're going to melt. But a lot of these things can just be kept in your pantry or in your regular fridge. I don't want to end this video on a rant about mini fridges in kids' rooms, but that is kind of all I have the mental bandwidth to sit down and watch today. The main takeaway from this is that a lot of these restock videos just follow the same patterns. They work because you see it time and time again, and they just follow the same things, using the same products, showing the same Amazon storefront items that everyone else is selling. And there's not much originality, but at the same time, it still draws you in because it is very aesthetic and it is very pleasing to the eye to imagine yourself in a situation where you could have all of these things, which I think is one of the main reasons why it works so well, because people want to be able to have these dream situations where this is just all they have to worry about is, restocking the things in their homes, basically treating your home like it's a store. I just think it's important to keep in mind that all of these things we're seeing here are not necessities. They can be fun. They can also just be something you watch for entertainment, and you don't have to feel pressured to partake in them. So now let me go through my entire list here of things, make a little pyramid for you guys, and we'll go through it before we end this video. All right, drumroll please. Starting this week at the bottom of the pyramid, coming in at number 6, butter. Butter is there for us when we need it. It shows up in our fridge, but it can also be put in these really aesthetic containers that obviously we all need. It only showed up in one video, so it will be number 6. Number 5, holiday themed house products. I grouped together the paper towel with the spray and the scented laundry detergent beads, whatever, because they're both home products. As I was discussing earlier, I do think if we would have took a look at more videos, we would have saw more home products that were themed in this way, but honorable mention, that red toilet paper really stood out to me. Coming in at number 4, we have edible glitter and ice cubes. They were equally intertwined, working really, really hard this week, but they just weren't in enough videos. Coming in next, we have single packaged items, glass containers for your coffee, multiple types of marshmallows, and multiple types of hot chocolate. These all had 3 separate videos that they were featured in while they were working overtime and showing up frequently altogether. They did not come in first place. Number 2, which really surprised me, but honestly, it's so sneaky in how they put it in there that you almost don't even catch it. The holiday tongs and scoopers. Every single one of those candy videos that we watched, they pop up. They are always there. So they get number 2. And coming in at number 1, unnecessary organizers and containers. Yes, our savior of the holiday seasons. Random organizing that is not necessary. Containers that we do not need for items that already have packaging for them. I hope you guys enjoyed my satire. I had a lot of fun making this video, even though I am always stressed when I watch this amount of consumption. Let me know your thoughts on this. If you think any of this is normal if you have ways to like kind of justify any of this, I would love to hear your thoughts, because obviously I'm a pretty harsh critic when it comes to this. I try to consume as little as possible when it comes to decor restock type stuff. Or if I do, I prefer to do secondhand versus buying it off of Amazon or Target. All that being said though, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and turn on that post notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload a new video. And with all of that being said, I will see you in the next one. I love you so much. Bye.